Hello and welcome, influencers. Hello and welcome to Behind the Screen Business Confessions. It's your girl here, Anika Cohen, and I want to welcome you to another dynamic, great episode with real, raw conversations to motivate and support our leaders in the marketplace. I am super excited about our episode on tonight. We have an amazing guest. This is our edition of Influencers Speak Out. Yes, your voice is valuable. Your voice is meaningful. So, this is the show where we choose to live. We choose to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious, and enlightened. So, Influencers Speak Out is where we have an amazing guest that is on our show to share their story, their message, and their strategy. And I'm super excited about our guest on tonight. I have grown to love her, I've grown to know her and connect with her. We got connected. Through investing in our abilities, investing in our gifts, our talents as speakers in the marketplace. And that's how I met this phenomenal woman that we are going to be having a great conversation with, right? So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Dr. Sharon Porter. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you back. I love you back.
Absolutely. It is real. It is sincere. I do believe in that connections are they're divine. They're not by coincidence. And you and I have been able to connect and been sincere about growing the relationship, being supportive of one another in business. And I am extremely honored by that. I appreciate that. I really do. So I am excited about our conversation on today. I'm super excited. So allow those individuals who don't know you, they don't know who Dr. Sharon Porter is. They have no idea who you are. Who is Dr. Sharon Porter?
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, Lady Anika, I am a believer. I am a believer of all things wonderful and amazing, right? I am a daughter. I'm a wife. I'm a bonus mom. I'm a pet mom, right? Professionally, I'm an educator. I'm an entrepreneur. I am someone who loves, loves, loves lifting others up. That's who Dr. Sharon H. Porter is.
Yes, and I love all of her, okay, and who she is becoming, okay? I love all of her and who she is becoming. And so listen, I before we get into our dialogue, I want to share with you this quote by Napoleon Hill. It says, if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way.
I love
That
that.
is so powerful because a lot of times we base our success off of the magnitude, off of how big the reward is. And I'm here to tell you, influencers, those of you who are tuning in, minor steps create major impact in your life. Every step matters, every step has meaning and value. And so don't discredit your beginnings. I know they say small beginnings, but there's no such thing. You are in business to grow. And as you grow, great things are happening. As you grow, great things are being produced. So choose to live today. And Dr. Sharon, talk to me about how you got started in business. What made you say yes to what it is that you do? Actually, share with us
Absolutely.
what it is that you do and how you got started.
Absolutely. So, first of all, I am editor in chief of Vision and Purpose Lifestyle Magazine. And I started out in business as a network marketer. And those of you who are familiar with multi level marketing, network marketing, whatever you call it, I started out in that business. And let me tell you, and as a network marketer, you vend, you go to all of these events. And so I just happened to be at a women's empowerment event in Washington, D.C. This was probably 2015, I think. I was vending in Washington, D.C. And all I saw was these amazing women. Now, my mind had not expanded, right? So I could own my own business, right? I was just vending, right? Just selling somebody else's.
Right, right.
And these women, as I was there, and these powerful women was coming up
Mm,
speaking, that changed my life. Do you understand me? I said to
yes.
myself,
Mm.
standing there, I said, you know what? I'm coming back next year, but I'm coming back as a business owner. That's what I said to myself.
Come on here.
And listen, Anika, I didn't even know what that business was going to be. How about that?
That part. Come on here. Didn't even know what the business was going
Did
to be,
not
but you
even
said
know.
yes.
I said, because those women inspired me, they motivated me. I went
Mm,
home. I'm like, oh my goodness. I literally said, if all of these women can do this,
mm,
I can too. And that's really the whole premise of me now, to let others know you can do it. You can do it
mm,
no matter what. Like I said, I had no idea. Didn't even think about I could be a business owner. I was a career professional. Didn't think I could do both. Didn't think I could,
mm,
it just wasn't in my mindset.
mm.
And it took that conference for me to get filled and motivated. And I did. I dabbled. I did some book publishing. I did some coaching and consulting. I started my show.
Mhm.
And then eventually all of that sharing, because I love sharing other stories, because I truly believe there's a story worth sharing. Everyone has a story worth
Mhm.
sharing. Believe that. And
Yes.
so that's really where the magazine came out. It was a combination of everything that I've done.
Mm.
And so 2020, March 2020, I founded Vision and Purpose Lifestyle Magazine. And so we are just celebrated 3 years in the magazine publishing. And I am just so ecstatic because we are growing and growing. My team is getting there.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But
Yes.
it was just the motivation of others. So
Mm,
what you said really is a test. It really validates that you just got to get out there and start,
mm.
regardless of what you think is small or not. Just
Yes.
if you have that vision, if you have it in your heart, step it out and do it. And that's exactly what I did. And so I'm just excited. I'm inspired by women. That's why I feel I must do the same.
Absolutely. Oh my God, it's so much that you said that I could take away from and expound on. But what I loved the most was that you went somewhere and you were open. And as leaders, we have to be intentional with every step. She positioned herself to be open to an experience. And it wasn't about intimidation because I'm sure these women, they are amazing in their own right. But she allowed herself to be open to the experience and it sparked a flame.
It did.
It sparked a flame. And she said yes to an idea that she didn't even know exists. That's what stuck out to me. You said yes before you even knew what you were saying yes to, because you lit the flame.
Yes.
And so I'm telling you, those of you who are even contemplating on, starting a business, you don't have to know what it is that you want to do. As you grow and as you take a leap, all things will come full circle because you started branching out doing different things and it all led to this magazine.
Exactly.
So that's what I want to talk about a little bit
Okay.
is that journey. So
Yes.
you've been in business for how long as an entrepreneur?
So since 2017, I started my first business. And what people don't know, my show is called the I Am Dr. Sharon Show, and that's where the I guess the hosting and all of that started. But what people don't know, it's so funny. I was actually in a doctoral program at Howard University, 2014 to 2017, and
Wow.
the last year, the dissertation phase was the hardest. Okay,
Mhm.
like talk about wanting to give up. But I kept saying, Anika, I am Dr. Sharon. I am Dr. Sharon. I
Mm.
was saying those affirmations every day until I was Dr. Sharon.
Come
Okay. And
on.
so that's when I was looking for the name of my show. I said, that's it. That got
Mm.
me through that year when I had to stay up all night, get up, shower, and go to work, right? Because I had been writing all night. I
Mhm.
had been revising my dissertation all night. And I just kept saying to myself, I am Dr. Sharon. I had to affirm that for myself. And
Mm.
so 2017, when I graduated, I did the show because, during that time I couldn't do anything. So once I graduated, I got a show. As actually someone, a studio asked me to come and do my show because I was doing it online at the time, and so that was really the birth of everything.
Mm,
And it was just, and so I've always been a background person, right? Love the podcast where you can just hear
mm-hmm.
my voice. Never wanted to be on front of the camera. Never wanted to be on the stage, which is why how we met. Because I'm like, okay, I got to get comfortable in this thing, right?
Right.
this is this
Exactly.
is not my natural ability. This is not where I feel most comfortable. And so and we met in that program, and so things just started aligning for me. Because you
Mhm.
have to do things afraid, right? Because you will never get things done because
Come
there's always
on.
something,
You got
right?
to do things afraid or you will never get things done. Come on,
Right.
quote Dr. Sharon.
Oh my
Thank you.
God. Because there's always barriers. There's always something blocking you. And so I had to do that. My accent, I don't know if I've shared this with you before. I'm originally from North Carolina. For years,
Wow.
Anika,
No, you never shared that with
I
me.
would never ever speak up because of my southern accent. I'm about to cry now, but I would never
Wow.
speak up in meetings because I
Mm,
was ashamed of my accent.
mm,
And this is in my career. I would be sitting in educational meetings and I have these ideas and wouldn't say them just because I didn't want people to hear how I sounded.
mm,
And so when I started writing books, I wrote my North Carolina Girls in a Maryland World, and we talked about it. And that became my thing. I began telling people, I'm no longer ashamed. This is
mm.
me. This is who I am. I may sound like I'm from the South because I am from the South, right?
Yes, yes,
So I
yes.
have grown in this thing. I have grown in
Mm,
this thing. And people don't understand the struggles and the barriers that I faced. And a lot of it was my own self. We have those limiting beliefs. And so a
mm-hmm.
lot of it was me. But I had to work through those things, right? And so I've taken everything that I thought was keeping me back and allowed that to push me forward. And
Yes.
so it's been a wonderful journey, and I'm no longer ashamed of anything. I am who I am.
Listen, you are Dr. Sharon Porter, okay? Because you affirmed her before you knew her. Come
Yes,
on here, somebody. And that's what we have to do. Affirm who we are before she even exists.
yes,
Before he even exists, you have to ignite the flame. You have to ignite the flame. And I'm so happy that you did,
yes,
that you ignited that flame and you begin to speak life into your own being. And
yes,
here we are today. Here
absolutely,
we are today. We don't know what we can
absolutely,
do until we do it.
yes,
And so this journey teaches us. I really do believe that because entrepreneurship, if everybody could do it, then everybody would be. However, it is not an easy task,
right,
especially for us career women. We are in our careers, and we are also pursuing our gifts and our talents, what we're
yes,
passionate about, what are in addition to our purpose. I mean, I love what I do in my career.
yes,
So I do this because I love it all.
yes.
And so I want to know from you today, what has been the greatest challenge for you to build your business?
Well, it's really connecting to the right people. Because first of all, I am a believer of collaboration. I love hooking up, networking with others because the saying, if you can get your dream by yourself, is too small. And I believe
Mm,
that. So you
mm-hmm,
need others to help fulfill that dream, right? So the hardest part for me is real, at least it was, and I'll say was because I've been able to work through it now, but it's finding and connecting with the right people. You can't work with everybody. And that was a hard thing to find. I've been burned, right? And
we've
so,
heard that before on
yes,
this show.
absolutely. And so you can't just jump into a partnership, a
Mm,
collaboration. You can't do it. I've learned that. My heart is pure, and and my intent is pure. It's not for harm. It's not, and so you have to find someone whose
mm.
heart is just as pure, because as they say, if you're a giver, you're going to have boundaries because takers have none,
Come
right?
on.
And that's the truth. I'm a giver.
Yes.
I give everything, but if the person receiving it don't have boundaries, they're going to take till I have nothing left.
Yes, leeches.
That's it. So you have to have that person that you can give and take. We got to give each other. It's a reciprocal thing.
Yes.
And so that was the hardest part, because in the beginning I was just trying to grab hold of somebody. Let's do this together. Let's do this
and that
together.
and that's a common that is
Yes.
a common trait in entrepreneurship, because let's just call it what it is. Everybody want to be seen, everybody want to
Yes.
be heard, and I do believe you have a right to be seen and you have a right to be heard. However, in that, sometimes we can lose ourselves
Yes.
and we start chasing after the fame or the fans, the
Yes.
numbers, the followers, and so we can become consumed with that. So then it's like, I'll just collaborate with her because there's no strategy, there's
Yes.
no real intention, there's no conversation. It's just because I'm in a rush. I want to,
Exactly.
and then things happen.
Yes.
So this is real talk. And that's why I love this show, because I want to bring light to the things that actually happen behind the screen, and talk
Exactly.
about it so we can normalize this and be accountable for our actions and do better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I
Exactly.
thank you for sharing
Exactly.
that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I have a next question is, what changes? What changes have you noticed since you said yes to entrepreneurship within yourself?
Definitely that level of confidence has skyrocketed. That is probably number one. I'm not, I'm a huge introvert. And so that networking piece was not something, again, that I was really in that space for. But I know in business, you have to network, you have to get
Mhm.
in the space, right? And so my confidence level has really increased. And I've noticed a shift in that from 2016, 17 to 2023. I'm a changed individual. I'm a
Mhm.
changed person. And I don't mind taking risks, right? I know I can weigh to see, do I, I can calculate to see, is this something that I want to do? And so,
Mhm.
and I can say before entrepreneurship, I wasn't that way. I always played it safe.
Mm.
And so I just that push has given me like, wow, I can do it. I can do it. And guess what? If I don't, I'll learn from the mistakes that I make. You learn,
Yes.
or right, you win or you learn, no losing,
Mhm.
right? And so that's the attitude that I take. It's no losing. I'll learn if I fail, because failure is a process to success. And so,
Come on,
as
you are in the vein. We just
yes,
talked about that.
really, yes, it is. And because I used to think failure was not an option. But yeah, that's where the growth comes. That's where the development comes. And so as long as you're learning, now you fail and you're not learning anything, that's a different story. But
Exactly. You
right,
better
but
say it again. That's a
so
different
yeah,
story. But when
right.
you are actually learning the lesson, you never fail.
Yes,
How can you
that's
fail when you learned from it
that's
and it
it.
taught you something? It grew you, it matured you,
That's
it
it.
evolved you. How could you fail?
How could you?
Come
That's it.
on. So come on. I love you. Yes, I just love this conversation. You are on
Yes.
fire, okay? You is just something. Your anointing is something, okay? I just feel it. Because you are really giving us some good nuggets. You're really giving us some great information that's relevant to leaders and influencers around
Yes.
the world who are just trying to build their brand, their business, and follow the vision that God has given them. And we all have those moments that you are speaking about,
Yes.
and the changes that I heard you say was, this has just grown you. It has grown you with your confidence, who you are as a woman, a mother, a wife,
Yes.
bonus mom, all of these things. Because I believe entrepreneurship, it grows every area
Yes.
of your life
Absolutely.
because it takes every part of you,
Yes.
you
Absolutely.
know? So, all right, we're got to play my little game. Look, you always know
You
I
love
got
a
little,
game. Yes.
you already know. So, okay, there's going to be two categories that you're going to choose from.
Okay.
Each category has a list of characteristics. Okay, so here's the question. Which category do you believe an entrepreneur needs to be successful? That's the question. Category A. Category A is courage, accept rejection, persistence, self criticism. Category A, again, is courage, accept rejection, persistence, and self criticism. Category B, determination, accept failure, self awareness, selflessness. I'll repeat that again. Determination, accept failure, self awareness, selflessness. Which category do you believe an entrepreneur needs to be successful?
Ooh, that's hard. So, ooh, okay. I'm going to say courage. Say that list again with the courage.
Courage, accept rejection, persistence, self criticism.
I'm going to say that one because, honey, them no's
Our
be
first
coming.
A.
I'm going to say that. I am. I'm going to say that. Yeah. You need both, but I'm going to say that one because them no's will send you packing if you're not.
If you don't self check,
If
right?
you don't, that's right.
If you don't go back to your why, it will
Exactly.
cause you to give up and
Yes,
just
it
say, I'm
will.
done.
Them
But
no's is
that's
for
what the
real.
question I want to ask you. So you said accept rejection. What has accepting rejection taught you?
Well, you know what? Number one, because especially now, when I am in like directly trying to sell things, right? And it's not. It taught me that I have to go back to the drawing board, right, and
Mm-hmm.
figure out what's wrong. But let me say this also. Again, everybody's not your client, though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you have to know fully who your target audience is, right? And so, if it is your target audience and they're saying no and repeatedly, you've got to figure out because then something is wrong with that pitch, something is wrong
Right.
with it.
Exactly.
So you have to go back to the drawing board. So it's taught me to go back and assess what I've done, and then act on it again, right? And so,
Exactly.
yeah, that's what I would say.
TAA, y'all. Okay. All right. Accepting rejection has taught you, from what I heard you say, is taught you to not give up, honestly, in simplest terms,
Yes,
to go back and track, assess, and adjust what's not working. And be also confident that you are targeting your audience, because
right,
even though sometimes it can still be silent,
right,
and you know that you've tracked, assessed, and you know what's working because it's worked before. It just could be a period of silence. So you
that's
got to
right.
be confident. I like that you said that too.
Yeah.
So, what self criticism have you done within yourself to
Yeah.
grow?
So doing this whole dualpreneur thing, working and trying to do my business, I have to be honest with myself because if I want to be successful, I've got to put the work in, right? So I
Hmm.
can't say I've done my 8 hours at work. Oh, I think I'm just going to lay out today. Like I can't do that, and so
Right.
that self criticism has gotten myself up, um,
Mm.
and allowed me to do it as if just. And today was so funny when I was leaving my work, my profession today. Someone stopped me. You out a minute? I said, actually, I don't. I'm on my way to my second gig.
You better
I'm on my way to my
say it.
second gig, right? And so that's that mindset piece. And
Exactly.
many years ago, I would have just said, and a lot of times when you have a career, you get comfortable because you have a paycheck coming and you don't work as hard. But
Hmm.
my mindset, I want to work as if I don't have that, right? Because
Right.
what I strive to do is my income from my pay, I don't want it to have anything to do with my business, right? I want to sustain my business with my business. So I got to
Mhm.
work that way. So that's the number one I would say, is making sure that I keep the mindset of an entrepreneur and not just a side gig, because
Right.
this is a business and I want
Exactly.
it to be treated as such.
Yes,
So that's the biggest
sustainable.
one. Yes, absolutely.
Sustainable. That,
Yes,
yes. Come
yes,
on here, Dr. Porter. Listen,
yes.
y'all, she has been sharing with us some great content on today. Okay. Just your transparency, your vulnerability, allowing us to see the behind the screen. because this is what this show is all about. So I thank you for being open and honest with us and transparent about your journey and what you have learned, what you have overcome, what that's looked like for your experience. Because I know that a lot of us can relate out there. I know that a lot of us can relate because I related to a lot of the things that you were saying as well. But it's every day is a reminder. You know, every day is I have to remind myself why I'm in this because it's easy to give up. It's easy to give in to what you're feeling when you're disappointed. But I love what you said that you treat this like a business, not as a dualpreneur,
That's
not
right.
as a career woman and a side hustle. You have the mindset, this is my business, this is what
Yes.
I'm called to do, and I'm going to see it all the way through. So, what would you say to the entrepreneur that is viewing this show on today and they're in that space of it seems as though things are not working.
Mhm.
It seems as though things are chaotic and things aren't going according to the plan. What do you say to that entrepreneur today?
So you know what the one thing that has helped me when I've gone through that is to first be grateful for what is working. And so I really think that people take
Mm,
gratitude for granted. I just believe that. And so I had to, even in my prayers, I had to stop and asking God for what I want, but first thank Him for what I have. And so that, and I had to stop myself for doing that. And so when things are rough, I look at what I do have. Thank you, Lord, for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. And
mm,
before you're begging and asking, right? And so it's the same thing. When things look, things look glim, don't see the hope. Coach Prime, and it's so funny because I've actually put this in my monologue on my show. He has a video of that thing, and he says, if the numbers don't look right, just keep making plays, right? If you're
mm.
not where you want to be, keep making plays. That to
Yes.
me, that's consistency. I I took that thing to heart because even when it doesn't look like you're not doing what you need to do, if you keep showing up, if you
Mhm,
keep doing the thing that you need to do, it will eventually show up, right? But we've
mhm.
got to be consistent in this thing. And that thing, and so just to sum it up, what I would say is keep making plays. Show up and be consistent.
Keep making plays. Keep making plays.
Yes.
It's that simple.
That's
And we make it hard, right? We make it hard, but it's that simple. So this show has set my soul on fire. Listen, influencers. All right. So for those of you who are new to the show, go ahead, subscribe and follow. Be a part of our community here, behind the screen business confessions with your girl Anika Cohen, with real raw conversations to motivate and support our leaders in the marketplace. Listen, this is Dr. Sharon Porter. So listen, please share with, even though it's on our screen, share with our listeners how they can connect with you.
absolutely Linktree. I am Sharon H. Porter, and all of my information is there. All of my websites, everything you can find there. My social media, everything. So if you go to Linktree, you can just Google Linktree and Sharon H. Porter, and I will come up.
And it's on the screen for those of you who are watching with us live. So listen, such a great show, such great information, and I am thankful. I really am. I'm taking it all in. And so here's the last question that I want to ask you. What do you enjoy most about starting your business?
You know what? I would have to say the feeling of accomplishment. I would that achievement, like wow, I really did this. I would just say the feeling of accomplishment, achieving something great that I had visioned, and then it finally came to fruition. That was
Yeah,
a great feeling, Lady Anika. That was a great feeling.
I just had a great feeling. Like I just had a great feeling. You know, you made me feel good because I'm so serious because it's that simple. I ask that question to all of our guests because, sometimes we just got to be reminded of why we got started in the first place. And that was so sincere to me. Like, I'm just happy that I said yes. Every moment and every day is not happy, is not a good day, but I'm not disappointed that I said yes to entrepreneurship. It is one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made, because it grew me. So I'm thankful, 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 thankful for you coming on this show on today. We want to say thank you again for, again, just sharing with us and giving us great knowledge, giving us great content that we can actually apply to our lives right now. You said so much. So, without further ado, ladies and gents, I want to thank you all for being here with us on Behind the Screen Business Confessions podcast with your girl, Anika Cohen. Until next time, you already know what to do. Choose to live.